Hello and welcome. Today we're looking at the L109-S Matavish 3 Easoul drone, courtesy of BangGood.com. Check out their site for more cool quadcopters just like this one. Now this foldable brushless GPS drone has a 4K remote tilting camera. It has optical flow positioning. It has plenty of automated features such as follow me, gesture mode, waypoints, return to home, auto takeoff, auto land, and plenty of others. So let's check it out. Now initially the drone comes in this simple cardboard packaging that has a sticker in the front that shows some of the features. And this is from LYZRC, Li Toys. And this is the L109-S model, the Matavish 3 GPS smart drone, 4K HD. And it's foldable with GPS return to home, waypoints, point of interest, 25-minute flight time. It has a follow me, gesture mode, so on and so forth. So plenty of neat features packed into the drone. And then we'll open the top here. And as you can see, there's a black case inside the box. And it's made out of good material. It's a sturdy, solid case with a nice rugged handle at the top. And looking inside, we have the drone controller and accessories. So let's take a closer look at the drone here. It's all folded and compact, very sleek looking. It highly resembles a DJI Mavic 2 Pro with the large camera lens. And it is foldable and it's very easy to fold out. You simply start with the front legs followed by the rear ones. And here's how it looks when it's all folded out. Very nice and sleek, very aerodynamic. So pretty cool. We'll just set that right over here. Now let's take a closer look at the transmitter here. And it too has these fold out antennas, but unfortunately the antennas are just for looks. They're not actual antennas. And here at the bottom, there's a fold out mobile device mount where you can put your cell phone so you could see the FPV view of the drone. And in the back it takes 3 AA batteries. So a very cool, comfortable controller. And then here's a little box of accessories. And basically it just has the charger, the USB charger right over here. And then you have some instruction manuals and the little bag of accessories here. It has 4 spare propellers, 4 folding spare propellers, a screwdriver, and here are the little booklets. And it shows the instruction use of the drone and app. And then also within the case we have a couple of flannel bags along with this carrying strap. So very nice little bags here. You can put the drone and transmitter in. So you would simply fold up the drone and then you can just slide it in. And then you can close the bag and seal it away. And then likewise with the transmitter, you would just fold that and then pack it in there and then close that as well. So very nice travel option here with these 2 flannel bags. Very good quality material. And so you've got your case and the bags. A lot of neat travel options here with the drone. So now let's take a closer look at the drone. Now taking a closer look at the drone, this is a neat looking drone that highly resembles a DJI Mavic 2 Pro with its large camera lens. And on the camera lens it says Li HD camera. And it is a remote tilting camera that tilts about 45 degrees, not fully 90 degrees. And you could see the electrical wiring right here in the back for the camera. And unfortunately this camera does not take any SD card. There is a small slot on the camera that looks like it's for an SD card, but it isn't. It's just an empty area there. So all the footage is streamed onto that camera. And natively it's a 1080p camera, but if you're using a newer, more powerful phone, the images can be upscaled to 4K within the app. Now this is a 1406 brushless motor drone, and it doesn't come with any propeller guards. And this is a foldable drone, and you would fold it by starting out with the rear legs followed by the front ones. And you have to make sure the propellers are properly aligned. And then you would have an even fold, which is very compact and sleek, as you can see here. You could see everything's all tucked away there, the camera, and the legs are all nice and compact. And then unfolding it is very intuitive. Just start with the front legs followed by the rear. And then now looking at the battery, this is somewhat of a smart battery. You can see the level of charge on it by pressing it and seeing the number of LED lights available. And speaking of LEDs, this has very bright LED lights throughout the drone, so very good for orientation or an early evening flight. As you can see, there are LEDs in the rear, on the top, in the front, and on the arms. So nice, well-lit quadcopter. And now turning it off is pretty simple. Just double tap the power button, and right here we have our optical flow sensor or camera. So it does have a stable solid hover with the optical flow sensor. And now looking closely at the battery, this is an 11.1 volt 1600 milliamp lithium ion battery, and it does charge right here at the top through this port here where you would plug in the USB charger. And so it comes with this USB charger, and you just simply plug it in as such, and then the charger will have a series of lights indicating the charge process and when it's fully charged. And usually the charging takes somewhere around 3.5 hours and provides the quadcopter with around a 25-minute flight time. And so the battery snaps securely into place. And so overall, a good, solid, sturdy build and good quality construction. It has no exposed wiring in between the arms, and a good solid 320 gram weight. So now let's take a closer look at the transmitter. Now taking a closer look at the transmitter, this is a very comfortable, compact DJI-like controller, and it is powered by 3 AA batteries, as you can see here. 3 AA batteries held in place with this lid and a screw. Everything just snaps in place there. And it does have these foldable antennas, which unfortunately are not actual antennas. They are just for looks. And you can also unfold this bottom portion here, so you can place your mobile device or cell phone. And it is pretty spacious, but not for a full-sized tablet. Looking at the controls, we have our on-off button down here. We have our auto takeoff and land button over here. We have our headless mode button down here in the lower right corner. Then we have our photo and video button right up here, followed by the GPS mode button right over here. And then we have our camera tilt buttons here to tilt the camera up or down. And then right up here, we have our return to home button right here on the upper right corner. Right over here, we have our rates of speed button, and there are 2 rates of speed, low and high. And last but not least, we have our left throttle stick followed by our right rudder stick. And in the center, we have our LCD display. And so looking at some of the telemetry there, we have our signal strength and number of satellites. We also have the drone's orientation. And then we have the battery level of both the transmitter and the drone. And then we have the speed, height, and distance. So a lot of good telemetry here on this display that gives you all the information of the drone while it's flying. So overall, a very good solid control that provides the quadcopter with close to a kilometer range of control. Now let's take a closer look at setting this up for a first-time flight and its app. Now, setting up the drone for its first-time flight is very straightforward. Once you have a fully charged battery inserted into the drone, along with fresh batteries inserted into the transmitter, and have mounted a mobile device, you would proceed to activate the drone by pressing the on-off button located on the battery, which is underneath the drone, like so. And then at that point, you want to turn on the transmitter. So you would simply press that, and it should be bound directly out of the factory. No need to move the left throttle stick up and down. And so first you'd start out by calibrating the drone's GPS compass by moving the left stick to the lower left and the right stick to the upper right. Once you do that, you should see the lights rapidly blink. At that point, you would rotate the drone clockwise about 3 or 4 spins until you hear a beep. And then once that's complete, you would face the drone downward and rotate another 2 or 3 spins until you hear a final beep. At that point, you've calibrated the GPS compass. Then you'd want to calibrate the drone's gyros by moving the left stick to the upper left and the right stick to the lower right. You should see the lights on the drone rapidly blink. Make sure this is done while the drone is at the flat ground surface and not moving, and that should level off the drone's flight. And so now that everything's calibrated, let's connect to the drone's Wi-Fi to use the app. So let's do that now. Now, once in your mobile device's Wi-Fi settings, you want to look for an entry that says XYS-5G 4K- and a serial number. And initially there is no default Wi-Fi password for this entry, so you can go ahead and connect to that. And once connected, you would go ahead and launch this app right here, which is RC GPS with this RC icon, and it's in both the iOS and Android app stores. So once you've downloaded that app, you would go ahead and launch it, and you will be greeted with this screen right here. And you'll see this drop down here at the top listing all the different models, and the one you want to select is the L109 GPS. So you would go ahead and select that if it's not already automatically selected. Here on the right there's different help menus and such, but you'd want to pick controls, and right away you should get a live FPV stream from the drone, as you can see here. And it has a very clear, responsive FPV feed, very little latency. And the FPV range on this is around 800 meters, so pretty good range, clear and responsive. So that's what you can expect from the FPV live stream from the drone's camera. And now going over the app and controls a bit, this icon right here will enable the virtual on-screen controls. This one will invert the image and will flip it upside down for photos and videos. This one will enable the full screen FPV VR mode, so you could see that. And then this one right here is your flight logs for flight times and such. This one right here will enable the map view, where you can submit waypoints and mark waypoints for the aircraft to fly. And then this one right over here will enable the circular radius, so you'd enter a radius for the drone to fly in a circular pattern. And then we'd have some settings right over here where you can enable or disable beginner mode and adjust the maximum distance and height that the aircraft can fly. And then you would just simply save those settings. And then we also have music video mode right here, where you could choose different soundtracks of different genres and change the mood of the music video. And then there's also some filters here which you can apply to the video footage as well to change the contrast, etc. So a lot of different filters that you could apply there to make a stylish music video. And then right here we have voice commands, so the drone follows those commands. We have pictures and videos. Down here we have some telemetry such as distance, height, and speed. And then we have our camera tilt up and down buttons. We have our gesture mode, our motor unlock button. Here we have the digital zoom feature, so you could zoom in and out. And then here's the gesture mode once again. Here's the auto takeoff and land buttons and the return to home. And then here's the follow me button, and so that will enable the drone to follow you. And so overall, a lot of features with the app and drone. A very solid, sturdy drone. Unfortunately, it does not have an SD card slot, so it doesn't record onboard footage, so there will be some lag and frame skip. But aside from that, it is a pretty agile flyer. The yaw rate may be a little too quick for some, but overall a very smooth flyer that takes pretty good pictures. So let's take her up for a spin and see how she performs.